a new study that came out in the Journal of Applied Physiology recently. Weight trainers out there use caffeine. And so one of the things I hear a lot is, well, I don't want to use caffeine too much because I'll build up a tolerance to it and then it won't work anymore. And you know, I followed this myself for a long time. I would try to wean myself off caffeine and then, you know, reintroduce it before like a meet. I took cyclists. Now this is cyclists, so this isn't weight training, all right? These are cyclists. And they took 40 cyclists, and the low group was anywhere from basically nothing to 100 milligrams of caffeine a day. The moderate group was anywhere from 100 to 180 milligrams of caffeine per day. And the high group was above 190 milligrams of caffeine per day. And then the high group was like 350. So the high group was much, much higher on average. They got an improvement in performance. They increased performance in the low and moderate groups compared to the high group. 57 and 58% of the people consuming it got an improvement. Whereas in the high group, the high habitual caffeine users, only 35% got an improvement in performance. That means there is a lot of individual variability, and so you see a lot of individual differences. And that causes a lot of what we call noise in the data, or standard deviations. But mostly what we see in terms of a tolerance is the subjective feeling. And I think a lot of that benefit is going to go beyond the subjective feelings. It's going to go to there's actually a physiological improvement. Caffeine affects the nervous system, affects the muscular system, it improves feelings of fatigue. If you're not used to taking it at all, and you take it on, and the first time you take it's on meet day, you may be very jittery, you may subjectively not feel good, especially with 500 milligrams, it's a hefty dose. That you're getting may not be as good as what you could possibly get. A moderate amount of caffeine regularly is probably a good thing for performance with weight training or cycling or any kind of something that is very fatiguing or that requires a high amount of muscular strength or effort. I think consuming a moderate amount, you know, around 150 to 250 milligrams a day is probably your sweet spot. And then if you want to add caffeine on top of that, like a 500 milligram dose or 6 milligrams per kilogram on your specific competition day, I think that's going to give you the best bang for your buck